How are you, Kat?
I'm good. Just finished up practicing a workout, so the day's done for me, but doing well, here in the Shield in Rosemont.
So you said recently this is some of the most fun that you've had with softball in a long time. Why is that, just first off the bat?
Um, you know, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I've always enjoyed playing. I just think there's a different level of energy and excitement that's coming out of me and just being able to enjoy the moment. And some of it might have been retiring and then unretiring. Obviously, it gives you a new appreciation for something that you stepped away from. But I also think this atmosphere is just really fun, getting to pick teams, getting to be with new teammates each week. Had I not taken this opportunity, there's probably about 30 to 40 people that I would never have crossed paths with. And, one of those being Gwen Savekis. And obviously we've clicked and hit it off, and that's been fun. So it's just fun to be back in the playing atmosphere. But I guess with just a little bit with it being so different of an element, it allows you not to take it too seriously almost sometimes, but yet you are trying to win. So like it's the balance of the two.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because it's a totally new format and people are seeing it in a new way, but also you're pitching great and you're at the top of the leaderboard. And let's be real, that is a nice thing as well. So, what have been the keys for you so far through the first couple weekends?
I think the one thing I have to mention the facilitator I had, Christian Conrad, he was great. He had scouting stats, you name it. So we were able to draft a pretty good team in that the first time I was able to be a captain. And then from there, we just kind of got it rolling. I think the big thing is just getting the vibe on your team going well, getting everybody believing that, we have what it takes to be able to go out there and compete and win. And being in the circle has been fun. I didn't want to throw as many innings last week as I did, but obviously when we lost Jessica Burrows, it was a little bit different game plan. But it's just been fun, being able to energize people. And I think I benefit a little bit having coached for 12 years. So there's some strategic stuff and just things I see that I share. But I think the key has been really, I think our teams have had some really great chemistry, and that's played out in the field.
Yeah, you've had this really interesting path. I mean, you coach Randy Hennigan. She's playing in the league now. Like, how cool is it
Yeah.
for you to be playing and also to see one of your players in here as well?
It's awesome. I think I've mentioned it in interviews before. When Randy started at Texas State, she had no idea, no want whatsoever to play past her 4 years of college. And by her junior year, she was like, "Do you really think I could do it? Because I think I'm enjoying pitching again." And she talks about it. She kind of fell in love with pitching, learning how to actually pitch and not just be a thrower. And so to see her here is awesome. And have her on my team last week was really fun. She threw 3 really solid innings for us. I stretched her for a 4th because I needed her to go. I think. But it's just fun to see her success and see her still playing pro, because it means that somewhere along the line, I got some passion back in her for her to continue to do this past college.
Yeah, one of the great stories in this league, no question about it. And Kat, for you, you've been pitching for such a long time and doing it at a high level. How has your game changed over the years? Even, coming out of retirement, what are little things that you focused on to really keep things going?
I think the biggest change has been just how I take care of my body and how I throw my bullpens. So I've always been one that likes to throw, and I like to throw a lot. And I've had to shorten bullpens just to make sure they're quick and efficient and get timing down, and not so much just having fun watching the ball move in the bullpen. And the other thing is doing yoga and stretching and making sure I work out the days in between. I actually get stiffer if I don't do anything since I'm a little bit older. I wish I was 25 still and could just hop off the couch and throw in a game. But so I've made some changes physically. As far as my pitching itself, you got to go with what works. And so I haven't tinkered too much there.
I mean, the drop ball has worked well for a really long time, so might as well keep going with
Yeah.
that, right?
Right.
How about the drafting element of this? You mentioned the fact that you have the coaching experience, but the drafting part is pretty interesting. What has surprised you the most just about being a captain, a couple times over now?
I think the fun element of it is you can try to predict what the people, I've been able to be the number 1 draft pick or pick the first person. So trying to figure out what the next 3 are going to do with their first and second rounds before I get up again. And you think you might have a good idea of what they're going to do, and then they throw you a curveball. So like week 2, when Alicia Ocasio took Jesse Warren, complete curveball, because I was like totally waiting for Jesse for that second pick. But so it kind of made me have to real quick revamp our plan. But it's been fun just seeing who picks and how everyone picks, what everyone tries to do. And for me, it's just trying to find people that are putting the bat on the ball, get a couple pitchers in there that can take some innings, and then you fill it out with people with good vibes and good energy and some pinch runners. I think the best one we had was when Jessie drafted, and I helped her kind of co-captain that draft, and we got a lot of speed, which was fun to watch them run.
Yeah, that was certainly a great team that you had. You mentioned that you and Gwen have really clicked. Who are some other women that you've gotten close with that you probably wouldn't have crossed paths with otherwise?
One of them's Jessie Warren. Actually, I was walking Danielle O'Toole's dog while she was at practice the other night, and Jessie and I were walking Purdy, and I just was like, you know what, Jessie, she's nothing like what I thought she was as a person, both on and off the field, and so that's something I wouldn't have experienced. Victoria Hayward, I've played against internationally. Never really had sit-down conversations with her, so she's another one. So it's just been fun to connect with different people. Erica Biancastelli was on our team for a little bit. And, I got to watch her mash plenty of home runs in college, especially in the mid-major area. So it was just fun to be on the other side and kind of talk to her and see how she works. I think that's, for me, being an intense athlete, I like to see how people work, and just to see how everybody works their own individual way and still gets it done is kind of cool.
Definitely one of the fascinating things, and also so great to see softball in the national spotlight, and especially as we get ready for the Olympics. And obviously, it was supposed to happen this year, but looking forward to 2021, how does playing in Athletes Unlimited get you set for a lot of the women that you could potentially see next summer?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's the one benefit. A lot of what we have, the U.S. national team, Canada, Mexico, and Italy all represented here, and so it gives us a little bit of a look at each other, which is fun. For me personally, I needed game experience having been retired, so this gives me a lot of innings, and finally, I'm in a good place both mentally and physically with hitters in the box. That I think it's done more than its job already, which is exciting. So for me, it's the fact that I have that groove now, being able to get back into it once the national team picks up will be fun. But yeah, it gives us all an opportunity to be around each other. And I think once we get to the Olympics, you'll have that competitiveness, but that camaraderie too, once we get over there and be able to share in that experience, even if it's with different countries.
You and your teammates had the Stand Beside Her tour going on before COVID got in the way of everything. Was there a moment where you felt mentally and physically back, or did it really take a little bit longer than you thought coming out of retirement?
Um, there were different times. Honestly, the summer of 2019, we got to Georgia and I threw really well, and I thought, okay, I'm back. And then um, we went to Japan at the end of that summer, and I didn't feel the same way. And then national team tryout, the Olympic tryout, I felt good. And then tour started, and it was just kind of an off and on. And I was starting to get frustrated. And I think there were times I looked at Coach Erickson and was like, okay, I'm 37. Is this really going to work? And he was like, just have patience, just have patience. And so actually, right before tour broke, so I threw against Utah at the end of the Judy Garman tournament, and that was probably the best I had thrown on tour yet. And I was probably about B plus, A minus as far as feeling in a rhythm. And then obviously we broke soon after that because I didn't throw when we had reconvened. And so never really got to get in the groove. So this has been really nice. And, I've made the statement a couple of times. It's ironic that I got to kick this thing off with the first pitch, because when this idea was first presented to me a long, long time ago from Amanda Chittister, I looked at her and was like, heck no, I'm not going to still be playing.
It's just amazing how life works some ways. And,
It is.
going forward with the rest of the season, what's most important for you? Because, more people are going to watch this. There's obviously money on the line here, but just in terms of playing in a mental perspective, what are you focused on?
I'm just trying to stay in a groove as far as mentally and physically, continue to attack hitters. Obviously, not hoping to throw 3 games in a weekend again. Try to get to pitchers on my team to be able to pick up some of the innings. But more importantly, now that I'm in a groove and I feel good, have some fun and hopefully continue to win.
Now, the question is, if we get down to the stretch here and you need some points, I'm sure you're willing to throw a couple extra games, right?
If I need some points, then I've done something wrong in weeks 3 and 4. So, no, I mean, obviously we keep an eye on that. And I think more than anything, I didn't throw 3 games last week because I wanted the points. But when you draft a team, you're trying to win, and I want those girls to get the win points. And so I had to do whatever it took to help everybody get those win points.
Well, Kat, thanks so much for hanging out. It's been great watching you and the rest of the women. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you on the road, all right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.